Good morning, everyone. It's my office today. Not a bad place to work this morning. Hope this email video finds you well. I hope you're enjoying your beginning stages of your summer vacation. You're finding that time to recharge and regroup. I know I'm experiencing that a little bit myself, and I wanted to make a video for you because the topic that I wanted to discuss is kind of involved, and there's a lot of moving parts, and I just wanted to make sure that you heard my perspective first. One of the words that I was thinking about towards the end of last year, probably since maybe February of last year, is the word time, and the the amount of time that we get sometimes to do our work can be limited and scarce. I was thinking the other day that we have about 182 school days out of the year, and when you subtract all the things that happen throughout the school year, from testing schedules to events and assemblies and fire drills and you name it, I mean, those days can get eaten up really quickly. That 182 can quickly become 160, and then all of a sudden you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of stuff that I need to teach and have the kids experience in a short period of time. So that kind of was on my mind, and I wanted to reach out to a group of teachers this summer and just kind of pull them into a conversation of, let's look at the things that we can control when it comes to time. And some things are out of our control. The state mandated tests, our state state assessments, sometimes are out of our control, and we have to work within the context and the schedule that both the district and the state of Ohio provides us. But it's an interruption, and it interrupts the flow and the consistency of our instruction. And I don't know if you're like me, but everybody, I think to some degree, likes predictability, likes routine, likes consistency. And when we have an interruption, especially a long-term interruption, it just can take us out of our rhythm. And sometimes it can reduce our level of effectiveness, sometimes. The other thing I was thinking about was, I'm moving into my 8 years, and be at Chapman for 8 years this coming school year, and I was thinking about all the events and special days that we have, that we provide the kids, that I think are awesome. And I want kids to absolutely have an excellent curriculum experience from a curriculum perspective, but I also want them to just have a great experience for the things that are just unique. And just provide a different level of a school experience beyond just the core curriculum. So I value that, and I think everybody that hears this video values that as well. But I think it's also healthy that every 5 years we look at the things that we're doing on a yearly basis and saying, is this still relevant? Is this a topic that's still necessary? Is this an event that needs a refresh? Do we need to do an event or an assembly or a topic every year? Should it be put on a rotation? Looking at the things that are currently on a rotation, are they still meaningful for everybody? Is it still timely? Is it still the right thing to do? And maybe it's all yes to all those questions, but maybe there's some changes that can be made, and I want to bring all of you into that conversation. Each person that I'm connecting with on this email in some capacity has impacted or contributed to an event, an assembly, a special day, a special experience for the students in some leadership capacity. And quite frankly, it taxes your time as well. These are hours and hours and hours that need to go into the planning stages for these events, and it definitely pulls you away from the work that you need to do as well. So I want to pull you into a conversation. I'm going to throw out 5 or 6 dates to pull you into a 2-hour conversation, just to get a dialogue going and make some decisions on going into the 17-18 school year. What are the things that we want to emphasize in terms of time? What are we willing to commit to in terms of our willingness to put the time in to pull off many of the things that we do throughout the school year? And are there things that we're ready to let go of? And I just need your help to kind of shape that path. So let's take a look. You'll see in the email link a link that will allow us to determine which day works for most of us over the summer. The reason that I didn't do this work this past school year or moving into August and September is, folks, if you don't have a good block of time to work all this logistics, all these topics out, it's really hard to do it during the school year. And I wanted to have a plan in place well prior to the start of 17-18. So I appreciate you even considering joining me in this work, looking at and auditing our time and what kind of events want to impact the kids in the most meaningful way, but also being really respectful to the work that we all have to get done just from a job responsibility perspective as well. So hopefully you're able to make one of the dates. We can come together and really think about 17-18, our use of time, and use it in the best way possible. Have a great rest of your day.